Hello everyone. Today we'll approach the data protection officer's position, duties, tasks, and responsibilities. As you already know, the EU General Data Protection Regulation, known as GDPR, is the regulation of the European Parliament and the Council that replaces the Data Protection Directive 95 on 46 on EC and is designated to harmonize data privacy laws among European member states, promote data privacy knowledge, protect all EU citizens, and reshape the way stakeholders across the region understand the concept of data privacy. By being compliant to GDPR, hospitals or any other medical facilities should have designated a data protection officer even if the institutions don't have this position on the organizational structure. Based on Article 37, we have described the condition needed to designate a DPO for any organization. There are three main cases where the controller and processor shall designate a DPO, and that's when A. The processing is carried out by a public authority or body, except for courts acting in their judicial capacity. B. The core activities of the controller or processor consist of processing operations which, by virtue of their nature, their scope and/or their purposes, require regularly and systematic monitoring of data subjects on a large scale. Or C. The core activities of the controller or the processor consists of processing on a large scale of special categories of data pursuant to Article 9 or personal data relating to criminal convictions and offenses referred to in Article 10. Regarding the position of a DPO, Article 38 highlights that the controller and the processor shall ensure that the DPO is involved properly and in a timely manner in all issues which relate to a protection of personal data. The controller and processor shall support the DPO in performing the task referred to in Article 39 by providing resources necessary to carry out those tasks and access to personal data and processing operations and to maintain his or her expert knowledge. The controller and processor shall ensure that the DPO does not receive any instructions regarding the exercise of those tasks. He or she shall not be dismissed or penalized by the controller or the processor for performing his tasks. The DPO shall directly report the highest management level of the controller or the processor. Data subjects may contact the DPO which regard all issues relating to the processing of their personal data and to the exercise of their rights under this regulation. The DPO shall be bound by secrecy or confidentiality concerning the performance of his or her tasks in accordance with Union or Member States law. The DPO may fulfill other tasks and duties. The controller or processor shall ensure that any such tasks and duties do not result in a conflict of interest. Probably I should bring in discussion the main responsibilities of a DPO. His first responsibility is to inform the organization, departments collecting personal data and persons whose data are collected of their rights and obligations. The second one is to ensure the organization departments comply with the law when processing personal data. The third is focused on investigating data protection matters. The fourth, but not the least, is the responsibility of keeping a register of processing operations on personal data by organizations' departments. And the last is the cooperation with National Data Protection Supervisor Authority. Tasks of the data protection officers are highlighted in Article 39, where are described granularly as follows. First, to inform and advise the controller or the processor and the employees who carry out the processing of their obligations pursuant to the regulation, and to other union or member state data protection supervisions. Second, to monitor compliance with the regulation with other union or member states data protection supervisions and with the policies of the controller or processor in relation to the protection of personal data, including the assignment or responsibilities, awareness raising and training of staff involved in processing operation and relating audits. Third, to provide advice where requested as regards the data protection impact assessment and monitor its performance pursuant to Article 35. Fourth, to cooperate with the supervisory authority. Fifth, to act as the contact point for the supervisory authority on issues relating to processing, including the prior consultation referred to in Article 36, and to consult where appropriate with regard to any other matter. The DPO shall, in the performance of his or her task, have due regard to the risk associated with processing operating, taking into account nature, scope, context, and purpose of the processing. There are some myths regarding the position of DPO. The truth is that he or she should have good knowledge of the legal aspects of the organization that hired or designated him, and second, she or he should have a good knowledge regarding the IT&C infrastructure, like the networks, hardware, software, and the functionality of the entire system. At the same time, any DPO should have in mind that he must stay updated on all the security aspects where the personal and sensitive data could be involved, domains like physical security and cybersecurity. And one more thing, the DPO is not a security solution integrator or an IT specialist. The DPO is the auditor, the monitor of the entire GDPR infrastructure in the organization.